right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Tonight, smash and grab surge in areas of St. Louis County.
Hotel lots, apartment complexes, and in neighborhoods.
How thieves are breaking into cars and the steps you can take to stop them. Plus, as the monkeypox outbreak spreads, when will vaccines be available in St. Louis?
But first tonight, we're in storm alert as thunderstorms are expected to develop, bringing torrential rain, which could cause flash flooding for some of us.
After weeks of drought-like conditions, we need the rain, but not like this. Good evening. Thank you for being with us. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. Let's get straight over to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell, who's tracking those storms and flooding concerns.
You know, we've been so dry for so long around St. Louis, and now the potential's there for some of us to see as much as 5 or 6 inches of rain. Most of us won't, but some will. Let's focus on where that area is. It's a quiet evening right now around St. Louis. We're looking to the west out along Interstate 70 from St. Charles. Already starting to see some thunderstorms off in the distance, but you're not really seeing it from the camera. And we're comfortable at 74. Look at all the lightning as you head back south of Mexico, down towards Kingdom City. That's developing, moving into Montgomery County, right along Interstate 70. This is really the area, the initial area, that over the course of the next hour or two will start to work into St. Louis. And then there'll be additional thunderstorm development to the north of that. As a consequence, with the potential of heavy rainfall overnight into early tomorrow morning, the National Weather Service has put up the flood watch. This is for the potential of flash flooding. It is extended south into the city of St. Louis and St. Louis County, basically along and north of 70 in Missouri, along and north of 64 in Illinois. This is the updated high-resolution, updates every hour, high-resolution forecast accumulating precipitation. There's a band that stretches just south of Bowling Green through Jerseyville over to Greenville to Marion, where we're looking at 4, maybe 5, 6 inches of rainfall. St. Louis is on the southern fringes of that band. It could shift a little bit. Very late tonight, early tomorrow morning. The big takeaway is if you leave work tomorrow morning before daybreak, don't drive into water-covered roads, especially north of St. Louis where it's been pouring. There'll be some spots that are flooded. We'll talk more about the timing of this when it moves out and when the next batch of rain follows.
Tonight, car break-ins continue to be an issue across the St. Louis region.
In the city alone, there have been close to 2,600 break-ins since the start of 2022. 5 on your side's Travis Cummings is live outside the Creve Coeur Police Department to tell us it's a problem in the county, too. Travis.
Mike, and I talked to 2 departments here in West County tonight that both echo that same notion, and that is in these areas, your more rural suburbs, where you might feel a little bit more comfortable with getting lax when it comes to your belongings, you have to remember to keep your guard up.
Over the past couple of weeks, we have seen some larcenies from vehicles.
Car thieves at it again.
Most of them have been forced entry, where they break a window to get into it.
This time working West County. Lieutenant Jonathan McIntosh and the Creve Coeur Police Department responded to 8 vehicle crime incidents over the weekend, some involving multiple vehicles. They've seen about a 45% increase of car thefts from now compared to this time last year.
When you start pulling those numbers, a lot of them are cars that are left unlocked.
10 minutes away in Town and Country, 2 men caught on camera hopping out of a gray Toyota Avalon and rummaging through vehicles Sunday. Chief James Caven saying, quote, "It was very brazen yesterday, and we need to address it not only from the law enforcement standpoint, but from the prosecution standpoint."
Motel lots, hotel lots, apartment complexes, and in neighborhoods. We also have seen a few at car dealerships.
Lieutenant McIntosh says his department is doing its part.
In all those areas, we're increasing our patrols, trying to find the bad guys, but on a law of averages, there's a lot of time we can't be in every place at once.
But strongly recommends the public to lock up.
Don't leave your car unlocked. Don't leave your keys in your car for your car. And also consider a theft device like a steering wheel lock.
And report even the slightest suspicion.
You get woken up because your dog is barking in the middle of the night. It's something that you're not used to. Call us and report it to us. If you see strange cars driving up and down your street at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning.
And remember, you can get ahead of some of these issues by simply reporting what you see. Keep in mind those doorbell cameras, those surveillance videos can also help out investigators as well. We're live in Creve Court tonight. Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
Within the last hour, investigators released new information into a deadly shooting in North St. Louis County. A man was found shot near Lillian and Goodfellow around 5:20 tonight. He was taken to the hospital where he died. Police are still looking for the gunman, and they say if you have any information, call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. Interstate 270 is back open tonight in the Metro East. It reopened about 3 hours ago as police investigating a crash involving a semi-tractor trailer and 5 cars. It happened between Route 3 and Route 11 near Granite City. Police say the semi-driver was in the westbound lanes and hit a car before crossing the median and hitting 4 cars in the eastbound lanes. It's not clear yet how many people are hurt.
Tonight, growing concern about monkeypox. The World Health Organization has declared a global health emergency. Now the White House is weighing whether or not to declare a public health emergency here in the United States. Cases have skyrocketed from 1,400 less than 2 weeks ago to nearly 3,000 right now. The vast majority of cases are among men in the LGBTQ community, but 2 of the latest cases are in children. While the rarely fatal virus is not new, the CDC says the rapid spread is.
We're coming out of COVID, right? It's been 2 years of people not traveling, not attending parties, not having fun, and I think there's some amplification of this that's happened as a result of people going out, living their lives.
Monkeypox leads to painful lesions and sores. It normally spread through close physical contact, but it can also be spread through respiratory droplets and shared clothing, towels, or blankets. In Missouri, there are 5 reported cases. In Illinois, 238. There are 2 probable cases in our area, one in St. Louis City and another in St. Clair County. We know you have a lot of questions about the spread of monkeypox here in the St. Louis area. Tonight, we took those concerns to a Washington University infectious disease physician at Barnes Jewish Hospital. Pepper Baker joins us now with what you need to know. Pepper?
And major cities like New York are seeing thousands of monkeypox cases. The St. Louis area has a low threat, but physicians predict it will spread. We are kind of in a learning as we go situation with this virus, but good news, there is testing and vaccines available.
This isn't something to freak out about and panic about, but this is something to be aware of.
Washington University infectious disease physician with Barnes Jewish Hospital, Joseph Cherby, says there are 3 confirmed monkeypox cases in the St. Louis region.
And we're expecting increased spread in the coming days and weeks.
Cherby described monkeypox as being a cousin to smallpox. Prior to the 1980s, the smallpox vaccine was regularly administered.
Luckily for us, the vaccine against smallpox works against monkeypox. And so we do have a vaccine.
There are 2 different formulations of the smallpox vaccine. The newer one, known as the Genios vaccine, is more widely used.
You don't have the risk of the same side effects as the other vaccine. It is much easier to give, and it involves giving 2 shots 4 weeks apart from one another.
In theory, Dr. Cherby says if you were previously vaccinated for smallpox, you should have some protection against monkeypox.
That having been said, if you have been previously vaccinated against smallpox and you do have an exposure to monkeypox, we do recommend getting a post-exposure vaccination with the newer formulation of the vaccine.
Monkeypox symptoms include flu, fever, and what's most commonly seen are the blister-like lesions. 95% of the cases are amongst men involved with same-sex practices.
We need to prioritize gay and bisexual men who have sex with men right now, but also be aware that it can spread to other individuals as well.
The virus spreads from exposure to the lesions. A person is still considered infectious until their lesions have burst, crusted over, and completely healed.
We have the ability to get vaccine, and in order to provide vaccine for all individuals who are a direct exposure. But that is, with the limited supply that we have right now, that is the only population that we can currently give vaccine to.
Now, monkeypox testing is available. You can go to your primary care physician, urgent care, or the county and city health departments.
Pepper, thanks. Missouri Congresswoman Cori Bush won't say if she supports President Biden running for a 2nd term in 2024. Here's what the Democrat had to say today when questioned by 5 on Your Side political editor Mark Maxwell.
Do you want to see Joe Biden run for a 2nd term? she's going to go?
Yeah, that's an easy question. That's not going to take long. Do you want to see Joe Biden?
I don't want to answer that question because we have not. That's not. Yeah, I don't want to answer that question.
Okay.
I mean, he's the president and he has the right to run for a second term. Absolutely. But
right
I don't want to. I don't want. I'd rather you not do that. Answer.
So
you
got
like
2 minutes to be in the car. Right after that exchange, Bush's aides escorted her out of the building. The first-term Democrat has voted against several parts of the president's legislative agenda, including the bipartisan infrastructure bill. Bush faces State Senator Steve Roberts in next week's Missouri primary. He's a pro-Biden Democrat who has criticized Bush for being too far to the left.
The Missouri primary is 1 week from tomorrow. In Hillsboro, the school is hoping voters will help protect its students. On the ballot, a $25 million ballot measure that will make improvements across the school. Proposition Kids, it's called. It was spurred by several recent tragedies. One of the biggest projects, a secure entrance. Hillsboro High School is the only school in the Jefferson County District without one. The district also wants 360 cameras for its buses after a student was accidentally killed last year. The money would also add a right turn lane and crosswalk along Leon Hall Parkway.
We owe it to our children, we owe it to the parents and our community that we have the most secure school that we can provide.
Taxes will not go up. Proposition Kids would allow the district to refinance its debt to pay for improvements for an additional 8 years. Join us next Tuesday night for our Missouri primary coverage. We'll go live as soon as the polls close on the 5+ app. You can download it for free on your Roku or Fire TV. We'll also have expanded results on 5 on Your Side at 10.
How much is that puppy in the window? It's costing some more than just money. The growing scam leaving families heartbroken. Summer savings on your utility bill. How to keep cool without losing the comforts of home.
And we're not worried about the heat tonight, but we are in storm alert because of the potential of heavy rain and flooding concerns, especially very late tonight. And as we head towards tomorrow morning, we're timing it all out straight ahead.
Tonight, 8 more men have been charged in a hazing incident that left a Mizzou freshman unable to walk, talk, or see. Daniel Santulli suffered severe brain injuries from alcohol poisoning he suffered during a Phi Gamma Delta frat party. In all, 11 people have been charged. Ryan Delante and Thomas Schultz of St. Louis County were indicted last month. A consumer alert for people wanting to add a furry new family member to their home.
The warning tonight comes from Wentzville police who say people are losing money and being left heartbroken.
We're noticing a little bit of an uptick or a trend in scams with deposits to reserve dogs.
The Wentzville Police Department has taken 3 reports of this scam in the last 10 days. Police say scammers are targeting Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, posting ads for puppies. They demand money up front, and the victims can be out hundreds of dollars with just a click of a button.
They're forwarding money from Cash App and Venmo, things like that, that are legitimate services, but then they come to find out that they've been frauded for that deposit.
The Humane Society of Missouri says this scam is not unique to Wentzville. Officials there prefer you adopt from their shelter, but if you do choose to buy online, only deal with reputable breeders who are licensed through the state.
A new government report this week could show the U.S. economy shrunk for a second straight quarter, and that signals a recession. Some say it's already begun. President Biden says otherwise.
We're not going to be in a recession. My hope is we go from this rapid growth to steady growth. And so we'll see some coming down. But I don't think we're going to, God willing, I don't think we're going to see a recession.
A report comes out Thursday. On Wednesday, the Federal Reserve is expected to raise interest rates another 0.75 of a percentage point. Financial planners suggest paying down debt now. A silver lining could be falling gas prices. In St. Louis, they're dropping nearly 70 cents in the last month. Analysts say production is up, but demand is down. A new AAA poll found 88% of drivers surveyed have cut back on driving due to the higher gas prices.
Just about everything costs more right now. That goes for our groceries, supplies, and anything and everything in our homes, including energy bills. Experts at Consumer Reports share some simple tips to cut utility costs without sacrificing the comforts of home. As we head into the hottest months of the year, it's little comfort to learn that 13% of a home's energy costs are for cooling. To take some heat off your electric bill, adjust thermostat settings. It's one of the simplest and most significant things you can do to keep your energy bills under control. Even better?
A programmable or smart thermostat can actually lower your heating and cooling bills by as much as 10% per year. Most smart thermostats use Wi-Fi, allowing you to remotely control your heating and cooling from your smartphone.
Some even learn your routine when you're home and when you're away, along with your temperature preferences to customize your cooling and heating schedule. CR recommends this Honeywell Home T9 thermostat. It includes a sensor to measure temperature and humidity. Some simple changes around your home can also help lower your bill, like keeping your blinds and shades closed during the day to keep the sun from heating up the house.
Ceiling fans not only cost very little to run, but when used with your air conditioning, you can actually raise your thermostat by about 4 degrees and feel just as cool.
If you're buying one, fans with the Energy Star label are 60% more efficient than conventional fan light units. Take time to plug cracks around windows and doors and repair any leaky AC ductwork to make sure your cool air isn't leaking out. And try not to use your oven. Along with using energy, it also heats up the kitchen. If you really need to bake, try to use a CR top-rated toaster oven or air fryer. They're an affordable, money-saving option and heat up more quickly. Even better, get outside and grill. If you decide to add a smart or programmable thermostat to your house, Consumer Reports suggest you check with your utility company to see whether it offers any incentives or even a free thermostat.
A fabulous break in the heat, but we're in storm alert tonight. Those storms are causing some flooding concerns. Let's get back to Scott.
And it's especially for very late tonight into the early morning hours tomorrow. Right now, there's a little bit of light rain falling out at Lambert. Nothing substantial. There's been a whole bunch of delays out at the airport today because of flight problems elsewhere in the country. Downtown, we've seen a couple of little areas. What we're really worried about is this narrow band of heavy rain overnight that'll set up shop probably just north of St. Louis. It's the overnight hours into early Tuesday, and caution on the pre-dawn drive tomorrow. If you head to work just before daybreak, and we're looking at 4, maybe 5 inches of rain in spots here north of St. Louis during that time frame, we could have some low water crossings that are flooded. You don't want to drive into that. We don't want you to have problems that way tomorrow morning. Right now, just some lighter showers around the metro area, just kind of a harbinger of things to come. This is the big focus here right at the moment. Just north of Interstate 70, east of Columbia, over towards Kingdom City. Now starting to push in a little closer towards Warren County. You can see all the lightning back to the west. That front that pushed all that hot, humid air out of here yesterday, it's settled down to the south and it's stalled. All that hot, humid air is going to get drawn to the north over that front and enhance the showers and thunderstorms as we head through the overnight hours. These are going to be gully washers, putting down very heavy rainfall. And unfortunately, as that area expands, you'll have thunderstorms moving over the same spots throughout much of the night into early tomorrow. Now, it probably doesn't get into the metro area with the second round until about 5 or 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're going to get around 11:30, midnight or so, but the big one will come after that. And then eventually by midday tomorrow, it starts to let up. The front works back to the north. Tomorrow afternoon, we're in the upper 80s, close to 90 degrees. With the potential for heavy rainfall and flash flooding, even with the ground being as dry as it is. Just saw a special statement from the Prediction Center out of Washington. The ground moisture along Interstate 70 is only 5 to 15% of what it typically would be this year. That's how dry it is. Even with that, there's the potential we could see some flooding. And here's why: that narrow band of may be looking at 4, 5, 6 inches of rain in a few spots. So we're going to take it easy early tomorrow morning. We're going to make sure if we're in a flood-prone area, we know what to do, and we're not going to drive through flooded roads early tomorrow. 75 degrees right now. 81 was our high. Just a trace of rain. We're going to fill up some of those rain gauges, maybe to overflowing by early tomorrow morning. And again, the greatest threat is north of St. Louis, north of 70 in Missouri, and along and north of 64 in Illinois. We go into Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, Wednesday night, Thursday morning. May see somewhat of a similar repeat performance, but probably not as extensive as what we're looking at tonight.
All right, Scott, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, we're playing hit and run with a Hall of Famer. We're chatting with the new XFL coach, and we'll get some insight on the Kachuk trade.
We want to invite you to join our Give 75 campaign by giving to any organization that is making a difference in St. Louis. Donate now through our partnership with the St. Louis Community Foundation. More information can be found at kstk.com/give75.
Tough to blame a 24-year-old who wants to go live in South Florida and got $76 million to do so. Matthew Tkachuk is a Panther and likely for the rest of what should be a Hall of Fame career. Doug Armstrong did make a hefty 8-year offer, but ultimately it wasn't enough for Calgary. The Athletic's Jeremy Rutherford spoke with Tkachuk and says it was a tough situation for both sides.
The Blues did have some conversations, obviously, with Calgary trying to make this work. I really do think that Doug Armstrong's hands were a bit tied. There's no trade clauses that we know that the team has with a number of the players, including Vladimir Tarasenko. Marco Scandella has a modified no trade clause, Torrey Krug. So there were some things that Doug Armstrong could not do, and ultimately he could not come up with a big enough package that would wow Calgary. Florida just had too much to offer.
Facing a Toronto team riding the crest of a 6-game winning streak is daunting enough. Throw in the fact the Cardinals are in Canada tomorrow, minus their best 2 players, and it could be rough. Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt are not vaccinated and can't go to Canada. It will cost Nolan $384,000 and Goldie $241,000. You've heard by now that The Rock chose St. Louis as one of his 8 cities for the XFL. The only downside is the team will not practice here. The entire league will practice in Arlington, Texas, and then head to the home cities for the games. I talked to the head coach today.
I think fans, everybody are going to be excited about what it's going to be, how it's going to look, and all of those things. It will be coming soon, and once the league lays that out, I'll be front and center of that as well. And I think everybody can be excited about it. So excited to see it, excited to see what it looks like. Is it the same? Is it not? All I can say is fans are going to be excited and happy about the decisions that ownership are going to make.
A really well-deserved honor tonight at Florissant City Hall. Umpire Bob Frischman was given a resolution by Mayor Tim Lowry. It honors Frischman for his 25 years of umping games for the Missouri State High School Activities Association. He's umped everybody from David Freese to Devin Williams, and he's always done it in a calm and cool fashion.
Over the 25 years, a lot of dusty fields, a lot of painful foul tips behind the plate, but a lot of great people, great kids, great coaches, friends I've made.
Congrats to Bob. So it's hit and run time. We're playing with the new Hall of Famer Jim Kaat, a 25-year career. He pitched against Ted Williams and Darryl Strawberry, and now he plays with us. Your first year salary in the big leagues was what, Jim Kaat?
$6,000.
What was your final salary in the big leagues in 1983?
$285,000.
Wow. What was that like? That must have been crazy making that much money at that time, right?
I thought I was the most overpaid player in the league.
Finest moment ever for Jim Kaat on a baseball field.
Game 7, 1982 World Series when Bruce Sutter struck out Gorman Thomas.
Favorite place to eat in St. Louis when you were here?
Charlie Gito's Pasta House downtown.
Scariest hitter to face when you were on the mound?
Al Kaline.
Who had the best stuff of any pitcher you ever saw?
Sam McDowell.
All right, baseball players have great memories. I'm going to say the name, and you tell me what you think he did against you. What do you think Reggie Jackson hit against you?
I would say about $137, and he struck out 20-some times in 58 at-bats.
137 exactly. Very good. Pretty good way to spend a life, isn't it, Jim?
I felt like when my career ended in St. Louis, even though I was disappointed when it ended, I thought it was the best 25-year paid vacation I could have hoped for.
A well-deserved honor for the great Jim Kaat.
Congratulations to him. Frank, thanks.
Christmas in July, the reason a growing number of consumers have already started their holiday shopping.
A new survey finds more Americans plan to start collecting Social Security early at age 62. By not waiting until full retirement age of 66, you receive about 30% less. 70% of those surveyed fear Social Security will run out of money during their lifetime.
Christmas is exactly 5 months away from today, and some have already started their holiday shopping. According to Salesforce, the holiday creep is being driven by inflation. People are buying now, believing prices will be higher come November and December. Now that's a planner.
We're in storm alert overnight, and here's Scott.
And the threat is for flooding, really. That's going to be the concern as we watch these thunderstorms continue to evolve and develop. Right now, they're tracking out to our west. Got a few in the metro area, maybe a rumble of thunder in there, but it's mostly west of Warrenton now, south of Troy, heading out towards Kingdom City. A lot of lightning in that sky out there. We're looking at 1 to 3 inches of rainfall pretty easily in many areas north of St. Louis. And there's going to be a band, we think it's north of town, where there could be 3 to 5 inches or maybe a little more. If it comes too fast and too furious, we can't stretch it out over 8 or 10 hours, then we have the potential for some flash flooding. Otherwise, temperatures tomorrow will eventually get back into the upper 80s late in the day.
And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Kevin Hart is Jimmy's guest. Have a great tomorrow.